Guys, this is just a beginner's guide to using Studio One 3 for a Mac. But yeah, I'm not going to get into a lot because I just kind of want to cover the basics, but I'm just going to cover as much as I can with what I have right now. So yeah, starting up Studio One, you get this screen. It's really cool that they added the whole SoundCloud thing that you could just connect with your SoundCloud account if you have one. Um, Obviously, you want to make sure you're using the right playback. And I actually have a MIDI device connected right now, but before I run into any issues, starting out, what I what I hear a lot sometimes is people, connect their MIDI instrument when they first start out with Studio One, and it's not connected. So one thing we have to do with Studio One is actually add an instrument. It could be anything. We could just make a new keyboard. We do have to name it, but either way, we want to receive from the keyboard that's being read in our audio MIDI setup, which you guys noticed before, I used the USB key station 88. And yeah, so just make sure it's receiving from that. Make sure you have that noted there, and you should be good to go from there with your MIDI device. Besides that, let's just create a new song. And right off the bat here, you're going to see, it's going to give you choices for interfaces and user. Besides styles, just templates, for anything you're going to do. Interfaces, if you have any PreSonus interface, anything from an audio box to a Studio Live board, it's gonna be equipped for any of those interfaces that you have from PreSonus, so that's kind of handy. We're just gonna create an empty song, and yeah, so I'm just gonna. One of the really cool things about Studio One that I really like, it's got this whole it has this whole thing with drag and dropping. Just click on the instruments there on your drop downs list, and yeah, I'm just gonna use a Reaktor. Just gonna drag and drop, and it makes a track for me already, so that's great. And yeah, I'm just gonna go to a Photon. I'm just gonna do Sunbluster. But yeah, so right at the bat there, I get that call a lot sometimes. If some people just ask me, why can't I, see Studio? Like, why can't I see my MIDI instrument when I first use Studio One? You gotta add it manually. It doesn't do it automatically for you. But yeah, so that's one thing with Studio One. So let's just get to recording just one thing here. Just do this. So yeah, right there we just record a MIDI track just like you would in Pro Tools. But one of the cool things you can do with this, and something that I like to do with MIDI as well, if you were to see my Pro Tools video on MIDI, bouncing that to audio, you can actually just do that with the drop-down menu in Studio One. Just doing the right click or the control click, and just right there in the drop-down menu, it just says bounce a new track as an audio track. That's insane. But yeah, that's so we actually do this. So just Option Command B, and it just bounces it down to audio, which I think is insane. It's a lot easier than just bouncing it, making a bus track and then bouncing that. You can also, if you want, you can make a bus track as well with these. Also selection. See what else. Yeah, you can just export straight from the drop down menu here. It's pretty handy. I mean, if it isn't easy for Studio One, I don't know what it else is. I mean, it's insanely easy for that. So let's say we're done kind of with the track. What else do we want to do here? I guess I have to run through some of these stuff as well. The mix window, if you use Logic, that kind of looks familiar. The editor, which kind of familiar to Logic as well. I'll get to that soon. But yeah, the editor just looks like any other editor in any other DAW. Just has the MIDI notes there for you, and everything's already kind of set there. But yeah, let's say we just want to bounce this then. What we can do is just make a new project. And this is actually my favorite thing with Studio One. The fact that it has this mastering, well, feature with it. Okay, so just drop down a file in there. You can also bounce. Well, this is when you basically when you're done with mixing your project and song. Project is basically like the mastering version of that. So just when you're ready to get it down, you want to send it to your SoundCloud account, or you want to put it out somewhere else for everyone else to hear. It's gonna give you the option to bounce it down to project. I just put down Pantera's Cowboys from Hell there. But yeah, I mean, from there again, it gives you the option of just putting in any inserts there. I actually have some isotope stuff I can use, which would be great for this mastering. But yeah, it kind of gives you an FFT, which is really handy. Tells you where everything else is in the range of that frequency, the information of the entire song. But yeah, that's basically Studio One in a nutshell. I'll get into some more detail with it on some later videos, but yeah, that's about it. Any questions or comments? Leave them down below.